Hello everyone, I am Laethas and welcome back again for another video, and today I have my 5 new manga from 2018 that you should check out. And this is just going to be very similar to the video I put out last year, except updated to represent the new titles that started coming out this year, the year of 2018. And I always like to represent a bunch of different series. I don't want the same type of series being on here, you know, 1 through 5 taken up by the same type of series. I wanted to kind of vary it up, so I have a bunch of different releases that I think are sort of at the top of their game in sort of their respective categories, or that I just personally really like. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into these 5 series. And to start off with, and this should come as no surprise to some of you who have been with this channel for a while, and that is Inside Mari by Shuzo Oshimi, put out by Denpa Books. Now, I believe I answered this in one of my Q&A videos. You know, what are 3 series or something like that that you would like to see licensed, and this was one of the series that was on that list. I am, of course, a big Shuzo Oshimi fan. He is very similar to sort of an Inio Asano, who I am also very much a fan of. So if you're an Inio Asano fan, never checked out any Oshimi, this is a pretty good one to start off with. It's total of 9 volumes, so it might be a while before it concludes here in English, but Denpa has done an excellent job with this release. In my opinion, it even has those French flaps that I love oh so much. But yeah, this is it's a really complicated series, and I really don't want to spoil a whole lot about it. But just be aware, this is very much an identity series. It is about identity, and it is one of the better ones that I have read about that, and I cannot recommend it enough. Highly recommend you try this series out. If you've read any of Oshimi's other works, you know, and you liked those, definitely give this a shot. Or if you're a fan of Asano, this is another one I would recommend. They have slight differences in their styles, but Inside Mari, very wonderful series. Deals with a lot of sort of philosophical concepts, which I always like, and Oshimi's art always complements his story. But yeah, maybe not the best page that I could have pulled open there, but yeah, Inside Mari, excellent work. Highly recommend you checking it out, and it's always nice to see new publishers. Next up, I have The Delinquent Housewife by Nemu Yoko, and this was one I didn't know a whole lot about upon, you know, picking it up initially, but it is released by Vertical Comics, and it is only 4 volumes long, so it's, you know, soon to be complete. I believe the 2nd volume's already out, as a matter of fact, but yeah, Vertical did a pretty nice job with this release. It has some color pages thrown in here, as you can see right there, and here at the front. But yeah, The Delinquent Housewife, I didn't know a whole lot about it from sort of the onset of me picking it up, but the premise itself I found to be very funny upon, you know, reading this series. It is very interesting, sort of in the way that it presents itself. And if you're looking for a good comedy, I definitely recommend checking this out. I think the 4-volume length suits this style of story very well. And if you're looking for that romantic comedy, more sort of situational comedy, then this might fill that void. Very funny for sort of the material it's dealing with. So if you're looking for a comedy series to pick out with a little bit of dramatic or romantic undertones to it, then I highly recommend picking up The Delinquent Housewife, and it is only 4 volumes long, so very short read, but very good in my opinion, and one of those better comedy series coming out this year. Next up, I have a bit of a sneak peek for my haul at the end of this month, and that is Ran in the Grey World, which I knew nothing about this series when I picked it up, but upon reading it, I am very intrigued to see where it goes. It is a little bit uncomfortable at times, but for some reason I feel that may be intended. I don't know if it's going to change as this series goes along, or if the author is going to try and leverage that discomfort in some sort of way, but from the beginning, you know, it is put out by Viz. It has French flaps, always a plus in my book, though unlike the rest of their signature line, this one is priced at $15 per volume. And let's just real quick get into this artwork right here. Wow, very, very nice and absolutely amazing. Only 7 volumes long, so kind of short, kind of middle length series, I would say. But if you're looking for a series that has a bunch of sort of whimsy and sort of kind of slice of lifey, has this sort of mystical, you know, whimsical atmosphere as you may have it, then this is one I would definitely recommend trying out. It's definitely of a different flavor than something like The Ancient Magus Bride, but if that is a series you like, you will definitely enjoy this series. I feel like you will feel some similarities between the two, but do keep in mind they are not the same, but they do take after a lot of the same sort of aesthetic tones and sort of, you know, stuff that's going on. So that should seem somewhat within your ballpark. If you like The Ancient Magus Bride, definitely pick up Ran and the Grey World. But yeah, it's very interesting the way the series goes about presenting itself. You know, is always the way I like it. It likes to be kind of subtle with certain things, but yeah, definitely a series I would recommend. One of the better titles to come out this year, and yeah, definitely think about picking up Ran and the Grey World. Next up, I have a series that I was debating about putting on this list, but I really couldn't find another series to sort of, you know, go in instead of this one, so I went ahead and went with Black Torch by Viz Media. This is one of their series they're putting under their Shonen Jump imprint, so it is at that cheap $10 price point. But what this is, it's very much a battle action shonen series, so, you know, if you're looking for one of those, this one is quite short at only 5 volumes. I have read this first volume, but yeah, if you're looking for an action-y shonen, I did enjoy this. It has some very unique concepts with our human main character fusing with this sort of, I can't remember if they called it a yokai or something else, but this demon-like cat thing, and so they kind of inhabit the same body, but yeah, that kind of stuff is always very interesting, and I think this series does sort of action-y shonen quite well. It doesn't do a whole lot of random stuff, and it seems very focused on what it's trying to do, at least at this point in the first volume. I do not know if things are going to change, but if you are looking for an action-y shonen type series, then Black Torch is definitely one I recommend checking out, and it is only 5 volumes long, so that is always a plus in my opinion, because it's not that big of an investment. But yeah, definitely recommend checking out Black Torch if you are wanting one of those action shonen type series. And last up, how could I conclude this video without mentioning at least one of this great type of release that we were graced with this year, and that is Devilman, one of the series to come out in 7C's new Classic Collection line. And I chose to go with Devilman because the other Classic Collection I have read was Cutie Honey, which is another Go Nagai work, but I felt Devilman was definitely one of the, it was definitely the better series, and if you've seen the Devilman Crybaby anime, or the original Devilman TV series, or OVA, then, you know, you can own the original manga now, and they are in these wonderful, wonderful, gigantic hardcovers. And, yeah, I can't really open this one up because, you know, you get into some danger territory with sort of Go Nagai's wants to draw certain things, so we're going to stick clear of that. YouTube would not be overly happy with me. But, yeah, these books are very nice. Really love sort of all of the effort that went into making these and Devilman is, of course, an incredibly influential work, and you can see that because we've gotten a new anime adaptation so long after its initial run. But yeah, if you've not picked up Devilman or looked into it, highly recommend checking it out. Very dark, doesn't have the best opinion of humanity, certainly, but definitely recommend picking up and reading Devilman. It comes in 2 of these giant hardcover books, but yeah, I didn't include Captain Harlock in here because I haven't read that yet, but you know, so far 7 Seas has released Devilman, Captain Harlock, Cutie Honey, and their soon-to-release space battleship Yamato in these wonderful classic collection books. But yeah, Devilman is in 2 giant tomes. Captain Harlock is going to be completed with its 3rd volume coming out in a month or 2, and Cutie Honey and Space Battleship Yamato are single volume, just complete in 1 book. But yeah, had to spotlight a classic collection. I have gushed about these in every haul they have been in, and I love them, and I hope we continue to get more series with this kind of treatment, and Devilman is definitely a series that deserves it for sort of how influential and sort of pervasive sort of its influences lie in a lot of the series that have been written after it. But yeah, Devilman the Classic Collection, definitely one of those series I recommend picking up from this year. And that will do it for my 5 new 2018 manga I think you should check out or look into. Let me know your thoughts. What 5 manga that started releasing this year do you think are, you know, worth checking out or sort of at the top of their game? Do you have any criticisms of my list, anything like that? You know, as always, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and share. You know, share any of your comments, questions, concerns, anything like that in the description down below. Are there any series you think I missed? And just your general thoughts about this year, 2018, for new manga releases. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and you'd like to keep up to date with all of my content, you can either follow me on Twitter, where there is a link in the description down below, or subscribe to my channel and ring that notifications bell. But anyway, that was this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am Laethas. Goodbye.